Guam EPA has begun dialogue with the U.S. EPA to move forward with the process to clean up the land identified to be contaminated with polychlorinated biphenyl, or PCB, and lead. As we reported, an environmental assessment was conducted on property adjacent and north of the Dedito residential transfer station. According to GEPA Administrator Eric Palacios, the last known lessee will be held accountable for cleanup costs.
And they also agree with the option that we presented in our report to District Court, in that if total expansion isn't necessary, then we would like to proceed with expanding northward as much as is necessary without getting into the contaminated area.
Palacios says they will not be expanding as far north as originally proposed, as they have identified that the northernmost part of the land is where the contamination has occurred. He adds that they have a general idea of what companies may be responsible for the contamination, but at this point it is a little fuzzy. Palacios says that once the investigation is completed, they will be able to backtrack business activity that took place there, and from there they should be able to identify who generated the waste.
Business activities, over the course of 5 to 10 years, shifted regularly, and so we want to make sure that before we put anything public, and especially before we initiate any enforcement action, that we're 100% positive we know who we're going to initiate the enforcement action against.
The cleanup of the contamination is not going to be cheap, but the company liable will be pursued for every penny required to achieve proper cleanup of the site.
As far as cleanup costs go, obviously, in the interest of our community and in keeping our groundwater supply contamination free, costs really won't be a factor in how much or how little we do.
Palacios reiterates that there are no concerns for the safety and health of nearby residents. He says based on the assessment, the contamination was not located subsurface. This means it was contained to the upper surface of the soil. He says one positive aspect is that there is no contamination elsewhere on the property. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Jolene Toves.